Cat scratch fever! Meow, 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 meow! Alright, we've been gone for a long time, but it's time to get paid. Chapter 16. I scrambled to get up, but my legs were caught in the cart. The monster lumbered towards me, panting loudly. Once again, my fear tried to paralyze me. I tried to push myself up with both hands, but my body felt as if I weighed 1,000 pounds. I'm dead meat! I thought. Finally, I pushed myself up and freed myself from the cart. Dead meat! Dead meat! The panting, growling monster was only a few yards away now. Lurching out of a row of shelves, I grabbed the camera and stumbled to the floor, my knee throbbing, my head whirling. I'll never make it! Never! And then I heard the loud electronic ringing. At first I thought it was an alarm, but then I realized it was the telephone. I pulled myself into the doorway and turned. The monster hesitated at the end of the aisle. His bulbous black eyes started floating up above his face. His gaping mouth, drooling green liquid, twisted in an O of surprise. He stopped short, startled by the sudden interruption. Saved by the bell! I thought happily. I pulled open the heavy front door and burst out to freedom. I ran for 2 blocks, my sneakers slapping the pavement in my head, refusing to slow its frantic beat. I closed my eyes as I ran, enjoying the feel of the warm, fresh air on my face, the warmth of the late afternoon sun, the sweep of my hair flying behind me as I ran, feeling free and safe. When I opened my eyes and slowed my pace, I realized that I was gripping the camera so tightly my hand hurt. My proof! I had my proof. One snapshot that nearly cost me my life. But I had it in the camera, my proof that Mr. Mortman was a monster. I have to get it developed, I said out loud. Fast! I jogged the rest of the way home, cradling the camera under my arm. As my house came into view, I had a chilling feeling that Mr. Mortman would be waiting there. That he would be waiting beside the front porch, waiting to grab the camera from me, to rob me of my proof. I hesitated at the bottom of the driveway. No one was there. Was he hiding in the bushes around the side of the house? I walked up to the front lawn slowly. You're being stupid, I scolded myself. How could Mr. Mortman get here before you? Besides, I wasn't even sure he had recognized me. The lights were out in the library. The room was dark. The closet he had come was the aisle next to mine, and he was blinded for a long while from the camera flash. I started to breathe a little easier. Yes, it was possible that the librarian didn't know who he was chasing. It was possible that he had never got a good look at me at all. My dad's car pulled up the drive. As I reached the front porch, I went tearing after him, running around the side of the house to the back. Hi, Dad! I called as he climbed out of the car. Hey, how's it going? He asked. His suit was ruffled. His hair was disheveled. He looked tired. Dad, can we get this film developed right away? I demanded, shoving the camera towards him. Whoa! He cried. I just got home. Let's talk about it at dinner, okay? No, Dad. Really? I insisted. I have to get this developed. There's something very important on it. He walked past me towards the house, his shoes crunching over the gravel driveway. I followed right behind him, still holding my camera up high. Please, Dad! It's really important! Really important! He turned, chuckling. What have you got? A picture of that boy who moved across the street? No! I replied angrily. I'm serious, Dad. Can you take me to the mall? There's that 1 hour developing place there. What's so important? He asked, his smile fading. He ran a hand over his head, smoothing down his thick, black hair. I had the urge to tell him I had a photo of a monster in there, but I stopped myself. I knew he wouldn't believe me. I knew he wouldn't take me seriously. And then he wouldn't drive me to the mall to get my film developed. No way. I'll show it to you when it's developed, I said. He held open the screen door. We walked into the kitchen. Dad sniffed the air a couple times, expecting the aroma of cooking food. Mom came bursting in the hallway to greet us. Don't sniff, she said to my dad. There's nothing cooking. We're eating out tonight. Great! I cried. Can we eat at the mall? At that Chinese restaurant you like? I turned to my dad. Please, please! And then I could get my film developed while we eat. I could go for Chinese food, Mom said thoughtfully. Then she turned to gaze at me. Why so eager to get your film developed? It's a secret, Dad said. Whoop, it's a secret, Dad said. She won't tell. I couldn't hold it any longer. It's a picture I snapped of Mr. Mortman. I told Dad excitedly. It's my proof that he's a monster. Mom rolled her eyes. Dad shook his head. It's proof! I insisted. Maybe when you see the photo, you'll finally believe me. You're right, Dad said sarcastically. I'll be there when I see. Hurry. Hurry downstairs, Mom shouted into the hallway. We're going to the mall for Chinese food. Do we have to eat Chinese food? My brother called down unhappily. He stirred his standard reply. He's a douche, apparently. Apparently so. I'll get you the plain lo mein noodles you like. Mom called up at him. Just hurry, we're all hungry. I pushed the button on my camera to rewind the roll of film. I'm going to drop this at the 1 hour developing place before dinner, I told them. Then we can pick it up at the dinner. No monster talk at dinner. Promise, Mom said sternly. I don't want you scaring your brother. Promise, I said, pulling the film roll out of the camera, squeezing it between my fingers. After dinner, I told myself, I won't have to talk about monsters. I'll show you one. Dinner seemed to take forever, like this chapter. Randy didn't stop complaining the whole time. He said his noodles tasted funny. He said that the spare ribs were too grazy. And the soup was too hot. He spilled a glass of water all over the table. I barely paid any attention to what anyone said. I was thinking about my snapshot. I couldn't wait to see it and to show Mom and Dad. I could just imagine the looks on their faces when they saw that I was right and I hadn't been making it up, and Miss Moore really was a monster. I imagined both my parents apologizing to me, promising that they would never doubt me again. I feel so bad. I imagined my dad saying, I'm going to buy you that computer you've always asked for. And a new bike. I imagined Mom saying, please forgive us for doubting you. And I'm sorry too. I imagined Randy saying, I know I've been a real jerk. You can stay up to midnight every night from now on, even on school nights, I imagined Dad saying. Suddenly, my mom's voice broke into my daydreams. Lucy, I told you that Lucy, I don't think you've heard a word I said, she scolded. No, I was thinking about something, I admitted. I picked up my chopsticks and raised a chunk of rice to my mouth. She was thinking about monsters, Randy cried, raising both hands over the table, squeezing his fingers as if he were a monster and he was attacking me. No monster talk, Mom insisted sharply. Don't look at me, I cried. He said it, not me. I pointed an accusing finger at Randy. Just finished your dinner, Dad said quietly. He had spare grease all over his chin. Finally, we were opening our fortune cookies. Mine said something about waiting for sunshine. Then the clouds parted. I never get those fortunes. Dad paid the check. Randy nearly spilled another glass of water. As we were standing up, I went running out of the restaurant. I was so excited, so eager, I couldn't wait another second. The little photo store was on the upper level. I leapt onto the escalator, grabbing the rail and rode to the top. Then I tore into the store, up to the counter, and called breathlessly to the young woman at the vending machine, "Are my photos ready yet?" She turned, startled by my loud, stupid, ugly, shrill voice. "I think so. What's your name?" I told her. She walked over to the rack of yellow envelopes and began slowly shuffling through them. I tapped my fingers nervously on the counter, staring at the stack of yellow envelopes. "Could you hurry a little bit?" Boo! Boo! She shuffled all the way through the stack, then turned to me. "What did you say your name was again?" Trying not to sound too exasperated, I told her my name again. I leaned eagerly onto the countertop, my heart pounding, and stared at her as she began once again to shuffle through the yellow envelopes, moving her lips as she read the names. Finally, she pulled out one and handed it to me. Right, Snake? Right, Snake? I grabbed it and started to tear it open. That comes to $14 even, she said. I realized I didn't have any money. "I'll have to get my dad," I told her. Not letting go of the precious package, I turned and saw Dad appearing in the doorway. Mom and Randy waited outside. He paid. I carried the envelope of photos out of the store. My hands were shaking as I pulled it open and removed the snapshots. "Lucy, calm down," Mom said, sounding worried. I shifted through them quickly, staring at the grinning faces of Randy's stupid friends. "Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?" Of course, it was the very last photo, the one on the bottom of the stack. "Here it is!" I cried. Mom and Dad leaned forward to see him over my shoulder. The other photos fell from my hand and scattered over the floor as I raised the photo to my face and gasped. That concludes chapter, whatever this was, 16 of Goosebumps book that I've been reading for 3 years. Tune in next time, and tune in a lot so I get paid money from YouTube. Make me money so I can buy things like glasses. Skrill, you got that, Skrill? Skrill, Skrill, you got that, Skrill? Skrill, Skrill, you got that, Skrill? Give me that Skrill. I am for real.